ओम गं गणपते नमः। ओम गुं गुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम ऐं सरस्वत्यै नमः। श्री सद्गुरु परमात्मने नमः। Divya Atman, we will be dealing with Guru's grace as today's topic. There is such an expression as the flight of the alone to the alone. Then, where is the necessity for a Guru or his grace? Asked a visitor to our worshipful Gurudev Sri Swami Shivananda Maharaj. Now Gurudev answers, how will you get God's grace? When you discipline yourself. How will you know how to discipline? By observing others that had walked the path successfully to the goal of perfection. Who are these men who had walked to the goal? It is these that are known as Gurus. So, you need their help, their personal example, their encouragement and their grace. Thus, we have come round to the answer that a Guru is necessary as well as his grace. Everything is necessary. Atma Kripa, Guru Kripa and Ishvara Kripa. There should be an ultimate explanation of the behavior of a saint, and that explanation is his own experience. There is a great value in the adoration of saints. The mind is of such a nature that it imbibes the character of that which it thinks of. That is the psychology of worship or upasana. When the mind contemplates something, it grows into that thing and becomes that ultimately. We can, for example, adore the great sage Vasishtha. The moment the mind thinks of Vasishtha, immediately all desires, all base passions are brushed aside. It is impossible to have evil thoughts in the mind together with the thoughts of Vasishtha. In case of those whom we do not directly come into contact with, even if we think of them, it is enough. At the time of thinking of those personalities, the mind expands into the form of the qualities of which it thinks and becomes pure. This is the value of meditation on the qualities of saints and their personalities. We should therefore adore the great ones like Vasishtha, Vamadeva, Vyasa, Shuka, Dakshinamurti, Dattatreya, Rishabhadeva and others, because they are our Gurus, they are our masters. They give us knowledge, and they give us knowledge even if they are not visible. It is very pertinent to note here that knowledge is not a gross thing. It is very subtle, indestructible, incorruptible. It is ever these. It can be given to us at any time. It is eternal. The receiver or the Shishya is eternal. The giver, Guru, is eternal. That which is given, that is knowledge, is also eternal. In the Kausitaki Upanishad, we have the illustration of how the Guru comes to the help of the disciple even after death, where it is said that before reaching Brahmaloka, the aspirant comes into contact with the Guru. The Guru may be on earth, but he is not only there, he is beyond the earth also. The Guru is not confined to a body. Being a realized soul, he pervades the universe, and as he is pervading the entire cosmos, he can help the aspirant wherever he goes. These saints do help us continuously, and their grace is flowing to us even now. Therefore, we must be receptive to that descent of grace. We must open our hearts when we receive the saints. We must remember that we must remove all those qualities in us which are obstacles to the reception of the knowledge which the saints give us. It's no use trying to approach an emperor without the proper qualifications. When we try to do something, we must be sure that we would be able to do that thing, and the proper qualifications should be there. It is said in the scriptures that the aspirant comes in contact with a particular kind of guru suited to him at that particular stage of evolution. People frequently ask the question, why doesn't Lord Krishna move on earth even now? He can take a body as he is omnipresent. A similar question is, we hear that obstacles are placed before the aspirant by the gods. For example, we hear that Indra sends Menaka, Rambha and others to tempt him. Why are no such things experienced these days? These things are not experienced always. The difficulties of that kind will be experienced by the aspirant in a different degree, not with the same intensity. When a person experiences a particular condition of his mind, he will come in contact with a guru and an obstacle of the same kind. This is the psychology of sadhana. The saints, the rishis, and avatars should be worshipped by us in order to grow into perfection, to become that. When we worship God, we aspire thereby to come into contact with God, to realize God. This must be our constant attitude. We must feel it in our heart and contemplate it. Let us meditate on saints every day. Let us become pure in heart and in thought, word and deed. Let us become saints so that we may fulfill the goal of existence. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.